Oh, this is great if you want to ignore someone.
It's so lightweight as well. It's not like wearing a Quest or something.
Can I keep wearing these?
I want one.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Just fine, gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss.
These are the new VITURE Luma Pro XR glasses. It is VITURE's biggest launch to date. And between the Apple Vision Pro, one of the most incredible but also most expensive VR headsets, and the Meta Ray-Bans, which are actually by far one of my best purchases from the previous year, the race to combine both of these into a pair of like regular glasses is definitely on. And so for the past week, I've been trying out these new VITURE Luma Pro XR glasses, and for the right use cases, they are so good. But if you don't fit into one of these specific use cases, you might want to skip them. Now, they are not like the Vision Pro or Ray-Bans, but they do have a lot going for them. Think of a pair of glasses that has a tiny screen projected onto each lens, and then there is this magnetically attached cable that then basically plugs into anything with a USB-C cable. Plug it into your laptop, and boom, you have a virtual 152-inch screen on your face. Or you can plug it into a phone, and now you have a 152-inch screen to watch movies or scroll TikTok. Or plug it into something like a Nintendo Switch or a Steam Deck with the mobile dock adapter, and boom, you have a virtual 152-inch screen on your face. Now, in terms of their design, they have this really cool like semi-transparent thing going on, which I love. This whole aesthetic, like it's very nothing. Now, the rear parts of these are flexible, so they're more comfortable to wear. And they also light up with some dynamic lighting effects, which you can disable because I'm not quite sure why you'd want lights on the back of your glasses. Very much personal choice. But that aside, the design of these glasses are the which you can pack away in the provided case along with the required cable and just tuck them away for when you need to use them. And when you do use them, they work really well. The lenses themselves are designed to get no glare, no reflections, there's no distortion, so it gives you this super clean image. And you don't feel self-conscious putting these on in public like I certainly do when I put on like a Vision Pro or even a Meta Quest headset. So in the past week of me using these glasses, there are a few things that these glasses are really, really good for, which for me is why I'm legitimately going to continue using these after I finish making this video. Now, the first is when traveling. This is like a really obvious one that is such a good use case. You don't really have to sit at like really awkward angles, like staring down at your phone screen when you're sat hunched over, when all you want to do is just relax and maybe put your head back. Now with these, you can literally throw on a movie. It plays the audio through some built-in Harman audio speakers, which are pretty good, but I would recommend throwing in a proper pair of, in-ear buds. And then you get this like full-on cinematic, very like, I hate using the word, but like immersive experience. Honestly, for this use case, they are just perfect for this. On a bus, on a train, plane, car, like literally anywhere. And like I said, it doesn't look weird. Like this is one of the main benefits with something like this over an Apple Vision Pro or a Meta Quest. You just look like some regular guy wearing normal sunglasses. Which, by the way, if you push this button, it changes from transparent to dark lenses. So you can choose whether to, see the world around you or just focus on whatever you are watching. And they are tiny. Like this is literally it. I can fit them in my bag, or if you have maybe deep or large pockets. So it is nothing like traveling with, the bigger VR headsets, which are considerably, when you pack them in a bag, considerably larger. Obviously, kind of totally different use cases with what you can do with the Meta or Apple Vision Pro. But like I said, these are super lightweight and can be taken pretty much anywhere. The second one, if you hook this onto your laptop, and then you can now work productively on a huge display, again, instead of hunching over your laptop. And actually, if you are using something like Samsung DeX, these are really, really cool. Like pack a keyboard and mouse into your bag. You can literally hook up your phone to the glasses via USB-C and then use Samsung DeX to get the full-on like desktop experience, multitasking, watching videos, replying to emails, writing documents, all sorts of stuff, all from your phone. Like this is the sort of stuff we should be able to do with things like the iPad with those hugely powerful M series chips, but we can't because, well, Apple. So one issue, hopefully you can hear me here because it's quite loud. One of the issues with a laptop or a computer when you're using these glasses is, you know, when you want to like focus on something and you want to look towards like the corner of a window, you can't do that with the glasses because as soon as you turn your head to look at the corner of the window, the whole like screen moves with you. So that is one area that I'll probably highlight as saying it's obviously not as good as something like a Meta Quest or an Apple Vision Pro where it stays where it is and then you can look around. This doesn't have, is it like the depth of field thing where you can just like fix windows. Apparently that feature is beta and it's coming soon, but currently as I'm like testing these glasses out, it does not have that right now. So yes, just worth noting. And then we have a few other edge cases that I've picked up over the past week. One of them, if you doom scroll whilst you're in bed, then you can doom scroll without worrying about dropping your phone on your face. Now you can just doom scroll with the glasses on and like the phone down by your side. Way more comfortable. You could also use them when walking to get your, phone directions, get your Google Maps or your Apple Maps up and follow those along. You could also use them whilst driving. But big caveat here, I don't think that's even allowed or definitely not recommended, so maybe don't do that. But I guess to point out perhaps the obvious elephant in the room, they are not as good as a dedicated monitor. They are not as good as an Apple Vision Pro because you are comparing a circa 400 to 500 pound XR glasses to something that is double or in Apple's cases 7 times the cost, and they are very different product categories and for different purposes. You buy a Meta Quest for gaming, maybe a bit of productivity and entertainment. You buy a Vision Pro for, I guess, productivity again and entertainment. And for me, you buy a pair of these glasses if you fit into one of those examples that I just gave you. Compact, lightweight, easy to travel with, and they achieve what they're designed for really, really well. There's also a Spacewalker app, which opens up a few other options. You can turn 2D content into 3D content. There's also Xbox Cloud Gaming, as well as Xbox Remote Play, along with just a bunch of like video streaming apps, which are all great and fun and everything. But personally, I just find that the real purpose for these glasses, for me at least, is really for traveling. So this is what I have and what I still intend to use them for after this video. So as far as the tech specs goes for these glasses, they come in 2 sizes. You've got regular and large. They have a 1200p resolution, so not 4K, slightly better than 1080p, but they have been optimized with some clever Sony technology that is definitely sharper than, regular 1080p. They say it delivers near 4K sharpness, and these are 50% sharper than the previous VITURE Pro glasses. You also get those Harman powered speakers. There's myopia adjustment on the top here from -6 for the Luma series and -4 for the Luma Pro series using these little wheels at the top. Tapping the top right button once adjusts the electrochromic film between that dark and transparent mode. You double tap to enable the extra lighting on the back, which I always leave disabled. Tapping the left button once switches between brightness and volume controls, which you can then control using the 2 buttons next to it. Now you can long press the button here to switch them on or off, or double press them to switch between different color modes in the glasses. You've got like vivid or natural, so you can just tweak those to your needs. You've got the arms themselves, which can actually tilt, which gives you this more kind of adjustability to make sure, well, A, that they're comfortable to use, and also so the screen inside lines up properly with your line of vision. And there are 3 magnetically attached nose pads here that you can just swap out super easily. Now, earlier I did mention that you could hook these up to something like a Nintendo Switch 2 or a Steam Deck, and then game using these glasses. And this is also surprisingly good. Again, with all of the same benefits I mentioned before, you can game now on a full 152-inch screen rather than hunched over, staring at this small screen down in your lap. And now you can actually play those smaller handheld games, but again, on a much larger, more enjoyable display. Even with the mobile Switch dock that they have here, you can actually hook in 2 pairs of glasses and then 1 Switch and then play like 2-player games, 1 Switch, 1 big screen. Super fun experience. Now, as with anything, there are certainly some drawbacks, so I'm going to call those out here as well. So now, since the glasses are powered by the device you are connecting them to, I would say you definitely should be bringing a power bank with you when you travel, if you don't already. And also, even though these are swappable nose pieces, I do find it can still leave a good old dent on your nose when wearing them for prolonged periods of times. Now, this one isn't really that much of an issue. It is nowhere near as bad as like the huge red marks left by the Apple Vision Pro or the Meta Quest headsets. And then if you do want to use it as an extension of your phone to call or text or write emails, well, you can't see the phone's keyboard. So you still have to inevitably look down at your phone to then type, which kind of then defeats the purpose of you wearing glasses to see the phone. And then lastly, these types of XR glasses are still in the same kind of position they were in this time last year, in that unless you are using them to watch content, connect to your phone, connect to your laptop, do something, then you don't really want to wear them, because although they do function, somewhat as a regular pair of sunglasses, they just aren't as comfortable as a pair of, say, like Meta Ray-Bans. So if you do buy them, know what you're buying them for, because for the right person, for the right use cases, these are fantastic. And like I said before, and actually as you're watching this video, I will actually be flying back from New York for Galaxy Unpacked, and these will most definitely be with me.